we talked about before liposuction, we talked about the day of the procedure, and now let's talk a little bit about the recovery process. So you've had the procedure done and you've gone home. So your first night home, what was your experience? Did you have discomfort the day of the?
No, I didn't have too much discomfort. A little bit of burning as the numbness kind of wore off.
Right.
But I was well enough, like I told you, I flew to Seattle 2 days after the procedure.
Mm-hmm.
And recovered at my Aunt Penny's house.
Okay.
And at that point, it's just you're just kind of like stiff,
right,
because you're in the garments and. But as far as getting around or needing help, probably for like the first 2 days, I was just really stiff and
How would you rate the pain at that point? The first couple of days, because that's typically the first couple of days is when people say it's the worst.
I'm going to say on a scale of 1 to 10, it was probably like the first 2 days. I'm going to say it was probably like a 7 or 8.
Okay.
And then after that, it slowly went down. The discomfort for me was the bruising. You know how when you get a bruise and you
right,
touch it,
sort of touch.
It's sort of touch. Right. It hurts. I mean, so for me, that's how it was. Not so much my stomach, because my stomach didn't bruise as bad as my thighs did.
Really?
Yeah, which is really weird.
Yeah.
I had like just again a little bit of bruising around my belly button, but just redness around the other areas that you sucked. But now my thighs look like somebody beat the heck out of me.
Like beat the fat out of you, right?
Yeah, my thighs from probably the bottom of my knee all the way clear up to the top of my thigh was just purple as
wow.
I never seen that purple before. So I'm like, you know what? That's really ugly. So, but you know what?
You never know what to. I mean, this is a weird thing. I mean,
I'm a bruiser.
Yeah, and your body, you said on one area it didn't bruise, on another area it bruised a whole lot.
Yeah, so I expected my whole body to be just black and blue bruises, and my stomach not so bad, but like I said, my thighs, and I'm a bruiser, so I was expecting to be a purple grape on all the areas, but I really wasn't. Just my inside of my thighs.
Yeah, that's cool.
So for me, it was like, okay,
Don't
go away.
I know we talked about this earlier, but the drainage that you had was only, you said it stopped after about a day. For that day, was it very much, or?
No, I think you sent me home with the pads, and then I think I went and snatched a couple of my granddaughters.
Okay.
So I maybe went through because I had my you have
care package. 2
on the back, the care package, but so I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had eight spots I had to patch up. So like I said, I went the ones you sent me home with. Probably by the second day I was out of those, but truthfully you just get and they're just the little pads. So I just went and snatched some of my granddaughter's pads, and but probably and it wasn't enough to really have to probably even put a pad in there.
Right.
But I didn't want, just for my own sake to be, if it did drain and leak, I didn't want that wet, yucky feeling. Yeah.
So what we tell, there's a wide range of, some people drain a whole lot.
Judge by.
And some people it's and obviously it depends on how much fluid we're using. The larger patients, we use a lot more fluids, and also after the procedure, if the girls get a lot of that fluid out of there may not be much more to drain afterwards. So those people tend to drain less. Yeah. But from our experience, it's been the people that drain more actually swell less, and the people that drain less swell more.
That makes sense.
And so the thought behind this is that the excess fluid that's kept in your body, if it doesn't come out, then your body has to reabsorb it.
That's true.
And that process of reabsorbing, it takes your body longer, and it takes a lot more effort for your body. So you tend to swell up more.
And your body's in shock anyway.
Yeah, so it's so I know there's people who are like, oh, I can't believe the draining, but when they drain, it gets all over the place. I'm like, that's awesome, because now you're going to get less swelling, and it's going to be better for you.
So I should have had more drainage.
Exactly. Well, so that's like
less swelling.
This is all perception. People perceive the drainage as being negative. Whereas the reality is the more drainage that comes out, it's better for you. But it's just kind of, and we try and plant that seed into people's heads because that's the
So
reality.
that they know,
Yeah, because otherwise it scares them, and they feel
Yeah.
uncomfortable with the fluid draining. It's not that it's not painful. It's just fluid just coming out of your body.
And then don't go online and look at all those horror stories about, because that's a big no-no.
Yeah, that's a whole nother video.
Whole
we'll want to
nother
talk
video.
about that.
That's
but,
true.
But the things that you see online. Let's just touch on this for a second. But
Yeah.
the reviews and stuff that you see online, you have to take this stuff with a grain of salt because
Mm-hmm.
the truth is that 99% of the patients do really, really well with liposuction. They have an easy process, and it's those 1% of people that don't have a good experience that they go out and they post these comments and they these negative things and they leave bad reviews or they tell bad stories on. You may have read like Real Self. These people tell their stories, and you just have to take this stuff with a grain of salt and look at both the positive and the negative, and just understand that there's a wide range of potential outcomes from liposuction.
And that's true. And the sad thing about that too is that, I mean, they may have a perception of what they thought. I mean, everybody heals differently.
Right. And it's also, what you're saying, perception. So if they were expecting no drainage and then they had a lot of drainage, to them it's the end of the world.
Oh, I love that video that you did the other day on, remember, you posted it just a couple days ago on, you had 3 people in your waiting room and they were...
the comedy?
That was great. That was really good.
Great. You guys got to see this comedy one.
It's
we'll have
so
to post
good.
This one. It's really funny.
I laughed. I said, that is so how people perceive
Yeah.
things. But that was really good.
Yeah.
I want to give you kudos for that.
we try and have fun with this stuff.
It was funny. It really was funny.
Yeah, but I think the misperception and a lot of these things, when people leave these negative stories or negative comments on the internet, it scares people, and it sucks because how many people are not getting the procedure because they feel like there was negative things or
Yeah,
or
true.
they're worried about stuff, and it's to me it's like this changes people's lives, and when people make the decision not to do it, it's like then what what's going to be, what is it
Or how
mean?
many people are they going? And then I in my line of work as a notary, and even in real estate, you have one bad apple that's out there, begging on your business,
Right.
and they tell somebody and they tell somebody, but for every one bad person you probably have 20 good
Right.
people out there like me
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah, but they say one unhappy person will tell 50, and one
they
happy
tell
person
50,
will tell
yeah.
like their
Oh,
friend,
yeah.
one friend. So it's like you got to get 20 happy people
Yeah.
for them to tell the same amount of
That's
people.
not
as one
true. I've
unhappy
told
person.
like a gazillion people how happy I am.
And we appreciate it.
And I've had one person come in and get their
Yes, you
procedure
have,
done.
and we appreciate that.
And remind me to show you her pictures. She looks phenomenal.
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
Phenomenal.
And I think it's funny that he said she didn't tell her husband. He goes, hopefully her husband's not watching.
Yeah, she was like, you can't do that. Eventually he's going to say, hey.
Right.
So, yeah. It was funny.
Yeah.
It's a good laugh.
It is. It's funny because we get all kinds of patients, people that are trying to hide this. There's people that tell everyone, and they're out there Snapchatting, Facebooking, and then there's people that don't, they don't tell anybody. They don't even tell their spouse.
Yeah, she was a good example.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, to me, that's crazy. I would, if my wife ever got liposuction and didn't tell me, I would be pissed.
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of interesting stories. We've had patients that like their husband's in Iraq.
Oh.
And maybe he's been there for 2 years, and the wife is like, I don't want him to come home and see me fat again, or like.
Yeah, well, I'm not just saying. Everybody has their reasons
Right.
of doing it, and I mean.
Can't judge, right? Everybody's
Can't judge.
everybody's got their
Yeah,
own situation, so it is what it is, and they can tell whoever they want.
I
or not
had my
tell.
eyelids done, and when I first got them done, I hid behind sunglasses for like a week.
Right.
You don't want somebody to think somebody beat you up.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh,
Yeah,
I didn't get
black
beat up.
eyes,
I
right?
just got black eyes from a procedure.
Right.
And again, it goes back to, we're in a world where, in a society where we have people like you, that we have people like you that can make a difference in somebody's life.
Mm-hmm.
and make those changes. And it can be something as small as your chin done, or your whole body.
Right.
Who cares if that's, something that you struggle with and you want done, then do it.
Right.
And it's nobody's business but yours.
Yep.
What you do to your
You got to
body.
do it for yourself.
And you got to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
And if anybody naysayers, you know what? Or they say you're vain or you're narcissistic because
Right.
it's all about you. Well, yeah, you're darn right it's all about me, because at my age, I'm in my last chapter of my life, so
Right.
I'm going to make every day count.
Might as well be good. Why not?
Might as well be good.
Yeah.
And why not? If it's not hurting, and financially it's not, you're not taken away from, your car being repossessed or you're being
Right.
homeless. I mean, of course you're not going to go spend that kind of money
Yeah.
and be homeless the next
But if
day.
you got the money, why not feel good?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And getting back to your contest, I mean, that's why, what you do with the contest thing is so great, because you're affording somebody to do it that wouldn't otherwise be able to get that done.
Right.
And I don't know how many free or contests you've done now, because
We have 8 now.
has it been 8?
8, yeah, 8.
Yeah, so that's 8 lives you've changed
Yeah.
from allowing them to come here and you do the procedure, and you probably can't imagine how you've probably changed their lives.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when somebody donates, organs.
Right.
You save somebody's eyesight, you save, somebody's heart, somebody's kidney.
Yeah.
You just happen to save
Save the
appearance.
fat. We saved the fat. No, we made them feel better.
It's a lot of fat.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. That's why we we love doing the contest, and it's definitely rewarding. I mean, all this stuff is rewarding. I mean, obviously the people that pay, it's rewarding to see them happy. As I love seeing people happy
Yeah.
and smiling, and it's nice that people are out doing the things that they want to do, and they feel better about themselves. And I suck fat for a living. I see this all day long, and it doesn't impact me. But when you guys leave and you go out in life and you're living your life, and the fact that no one else may know what you've done, what you've had done, but you feel better about yourself. And I just had this lady, a repeat customer today. This is her 3rd procedure.
Wow, that's awesome.
And she was like perma smile.
How can you not?
And she was just amazed, and she loved everything that was done, and she couldn't wait to get more stuff done, and she had full body liposuction. I mean, this is like transformation, everything from head to toe.
You almost have to be careful, because it does become addictive.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's so easy to get.
It is easy, so I'm already thinking, okay, how many, at what point do you say okay?
Yeah.
But really, it's up to you.
Right.
It's what areas bother you and what you feel is, you're worth it. And so I'm definitely going to get a couple more procedures, and I'm trying to get my referrals so that
There you go. You got to keep sending people.
got to keep sending. So
I did want to touch on this, so that the contest we're doing, in case you guys are interested, you are able to sign up if you go to our website, myshapelipo.com. You can click on the button on the top of the win free liposuction, and you can also it's really easy. If you guys are on your phone right now, you can text the word free lipo. So text the word free lipo to 44222. So text the word free lipo to 44222. And if you guys didn't get that, we'll put that in the comment section down below. What were we talking about?
We were talking about the contest and it being addictive.
Yeah. It's I don't know if it's people say the word addictive. But I guess my thought of addictive is a physical dependence, but it is the concept of if it's so easy.
And that's the part it is easy.
Right.
So then you say, okay, if I can save up and I'll get this done,
right.
And then if I'll save up a little more and get this done, and or even for me, like just getting the 2 areas that I got done. Now it tells me, okay, do you really need those hips and thighs, or those, this part right here done?
Yeah.
Or get your butt to the gym and
right.
and do some side crunches and all that. So it's really a matter of, do you want to just pay it to get it done, or go to the gym and get it done?
Right.
for me, I would like to say I'm trying to get to the gym and get it done. But in my busy schedule, sometimes it just...
Well, a lot of people, they use this as that jumping off that, you know, gets them motivated because, you know, they usually will quit going to the gym because they don't see the results that they're looking for, and you know, they don't get them quick enough. And the nice thing about this is you get the results very quickly, and so you can see that you're smaller. And a lot of people, that gets them excited, like, okay, I got this, now I'm going to keep going, or I got this and I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to waste the money that I just spent.
Right, and to go and even if you just go to the gym and it helps define those areas that you got done. So you may have had those inside thighs that you couldn't have any progress with. Well, now you can, you know, work on it. Yeah. You can hit the machines a little bit harder, and because you see the results now, so that just gives you the mindset, okay, if I, you know, go to the gym, I can improve on other areas and at least try. And then if you can't get there, then you do this again.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you know, one of the things that I like to talk about is when, you know, when people, you can lose weight. Everybody can lose. Nobody has to get liposuction, right? So this is a totally elective procedure. So you don't have to get this because you want to get it. No. And, you know, the difference between liposuction and diet and exercise is that with diet and exercise, those fat cells are simply shrinking, getting smaller, but they're still there. So what happens if you stop exercising and you stop eating, you know, your regular diet? It comes back. So that's why, you know, I'm sure everybody watching has this roller coaster up and down. More. Yeah. So liposuction, in contrast, we're physically removing those fat cells. So now they don't go through that cycle anymore. So even if you gain weight, lost weight, you're not going to notice as much in your stomach. Right. And that's what for me, that's what I noticed, because I would go through this roller coaster, this up and down, and when I started feeling fat, I'd be like, crash diet, I would stop eating breakfast and, you know, lose like 15 pounds, and, you know, guys can do that, right? They can lose 15 pounds in a week. I know, you guys suck. I'm telling you. I'd go on this crash diet, lose 15 pounds, and I'm like, okay, now I feel skinny, and then ice cream every night. So it's just like up and down, up and down. And true, you should see his six-pack ab. That'll be another video. And he posted pictures of where he used to be and where he is now, and I'm like, wow, that's even kudos to you, because that's like crazy. Well, it's hard work, you know. I mean, but it's motivation. You know, you have to get motivated for something, and you know, for me, I've had motivation, lots of motivation over these past few years. So I had liposuction. And that was about maybe 10 years ago. That's a long time ago. Yeah, it's a long time ago. So in that time period, in between then, I was still going up and down. I just didn't notice a change as much in my stomach. My thighs got bigger, my butt got bigger, which I'm not disproportionate, so it didn't look weird. Right. And so it didn't bother me. But I got up to, for me, I was about 210, 215 pounds, which is heavy for me. Right. I was normally, and now I'm about 170. So I lost 40 pounds. And 40 pounds is a big difference. It's huge difference. It's a huge difference. And it's crazy because... And now imagine 40 pounds on somebody my frame, 5'4". But you know, the thing is, it's like, imagine, you know, I tell people, imagine carrying a 40-pound backpack. I mean, right now, imagine carrying a 40-pound backpack for any extended period of time. Well, that's what you're doing on a daily basis. If you're carrying an extra 40 pounds, and there's some people that are carrying an extra 100 pounds, 150 pounds. That's sad. That's like carrying a whole other person all day long. I mean, it must be miserable. That's huge. Well, not to mention the strain on your knees, your back. Your health, you know, the cholesterol, your heart disease, and diabetes, I mean, all kinds of problems. So, I mean, you gotta, this is a jumping off point. You gotta get the fat out of there and get yourself on the right path to get motivated. And however you get the motivation, but you gotta get motivated to do something. Doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you get there. And that's the main thing, is you help people get there that wouldn't normally be able to. Right. Achieve that unless they did. I mean, because for me, there's no way I could do a gazillion crunches at the gym and that stomach wouldn't have gone away. What, you know, a lot of people say that there's certain areas that, you know, you call them your problem area, call them whatever you want, but there's certain areas that it doesn't matter what you do, your diet, your exercise, it just doesn't go away. And especially for women like myself who's had a C-section. That they get that fold over. It just, like I said, overnight, all of a sudden it was there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I turned to the side and I'm like, where did this little hand-me-down thing come from? Right. And it was getting worse, like, daily, or it seems like it, right? Well, once you notice it, you're like, oh my gosh. I know, it was overnight. Worse. I started looking to the side and I'm like, you know, at first you see that little, okay, it's getting a little poochy, and the next thing you know, you've got that little
area that just kind of
Yeah,
like hangs
that's
underneath your
frustrating.
C-section. I'm
Now,
like,
did that go
"Oh."
away for you?
It's totally gone.
That's awesome.
So now you can see my C-section scar,
Right.
which I haven't seen that in forever. So that and you know my C-section scar is it's only like this long,
Right.
but it's all flesh colored now,
Yeah.
and now you can't even see it
That's awesome.
because it just is, you know, it's blended because
Right.
it's, well, my son's 22,
Uh-huh.
so 22 years it's
Yeah, it's faded off.
it's faded off.
Now, let me ask you a question. Did you go see anyone else beforehand for consultations? Did you go see any plastic surgeons, or it was just us you trusted were the best? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
Lots of people, like especially the ones that have the belly folding over, they'll go see, you know, other consultations, and the plastic surgeons just like they have like a guidebook. They tell everybody exactly the same thing. So if your belly folds over a little bit, everybody needs a tummy tuck. And so if you
Not
guys are
true.
watching and
Not
they
true.
you've been told you need a tummy tuck, it's absolutely not true. And they scare people. They use these scare tactics. It's pretty funny. They tell all these people that, you know, what happens when we take out the fat? You're gonna have an empty sack of skin hanging. So they scare the crap out of people. They're like, I don't want an empty sack of skin, but never.
It's not true.
It's never happened.
And like I said, my only recommendation is that you do wear those garments faithfully, because that's what's holding you all in, and as your stomach shrinks, and the foam that you provided keeps it all smooth.
Right.
Now I did come in for my 90-day,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just one area that, you know, because I'm heavier chested, of course,
Mhm.
so I wear underwire, so
Okay.
I think that's, remember I
Bulging
showed
out a
you.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just put a little area right here.
Right.
That just, and it's probably no bigger than what I think I showed you. It's
yeah.
like a finger length. That's just like just a little area. So he
Right.
said, you know, we can touch that up if need be, because that's, you know,
Right.
like I said, it's just, if I don't sit up straight and I do this, then it's
Yeah,
and
stop
that's
slouching.
exactly what it is.
See, there's your motivation to not slouch.
Right, so-
Sit up straight. Put your back.
I can't. So I mean, really.